Okay, hello, 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 everyone. We are live and in color. Gosh, that's so 80s. Most of you know me. I don't have a filter. I'm Mary Gooden. I like to call myself the CEO and founder of my brilliant life, really. I want to get this recorded in case Renee wants to use it. We're celebrating Renee today. Beside me, you'll see on the screen, is a dear friend of mine, actually. We have met in person in
Yeah.
Italy last year. We've known each other since I started publishing, Renee. You were
Oh
like the
gosh, I know.
fourth or fifth person into one of my books. So this is big. And
Yes.
congratulations. So
Thank you.
everyone, meet Renee. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how excited you are to finally launch your solo book, Becoming a Female CEO.
Thanks. Yeah, it is. It's so much fun to be working with you again, Mary. It was because it was a collaboration the last time that we worked together. So it's fun to be working with you for the solo book. So yeah, a little bit about me. So I come from a very masculine driven industry, and I had to, well, I didn't have to. I chose to step into my own leadership and start a business in that industry. And I chose to because of the toxicity of the environments that I was working in and the people around me. And I knew that I wanted to lead in a different way. So I just didn't know quite how that was.
Mhm.
So this book is really about that journey, right? From the point at which I stepped into that role and said, okay, I'm claiming this, to the point at which I embodied it, right? And the journey therein and some of the tools that I used to get there, right? Because there were a lot of different tools. I realized that there was a lot of trauma that I had that kind of kept me small, things that showed up that was generational trauma. Some of it was societal, some of it was my own personal trauma. So things that kept me from feeling like I had a right to be in a leadership role, let alone a CEO role, right? So that's what this book is really about. It's exciting. It took me a while to get there, right? It took me a while. As you know, I started on this book a year ago. This was like a long process. You know, the feeling of finally finishing it and being able to bring it forward to people that are also looking to upgrade their leadership is just, I guess I wasn't expecting it to feel so good.
Mm,
You know,
I love that.
yeah, I don't think I realized how good it would feel to be able to get this into the hands of somebody else and help them with their journey.
Well, that's what I consider that legacy-driven
Yeah,
leadership. It's
yeah,
impact-driven leadership, and it's a feeling. Like I said, I think before we got on the live, you can't really taste, touch, or feel it until you are in it,
doing.
until you've completely embodied it. So I want to unpack just a few things here. I think we're almost like a year to the day that
Yep.
you said yes. It made me think about this.
Yeah.
And it's a journey, right? I host a lot of different ways. There's a lot of different ways to write a solo book, and it also is a journey. And one thing that I don't say, I don't hide it, and I don't often share out loud because it's different for everybody, and I'm not one to claim for anybody, but it's a journey. It's an
Right.
experience of really embodying a deeper level of truth for yourself. This is why I'm so passionate about writing, because it's way more than just writing a
Yeah.
book. And that's what
Yeah.
you just said. Like I couldn't have even imagined that it would feel this rewarding in a sense, even though maybe by whoever's measure, it took me a little bit longer. You are
Right.
now at the climate, the top of your mountain.
Right.
And then what do you get to do when you're at the top of a mountain? Head to the next peak, right?
I'm going to sit and enjoy this one.
Have a cup
No,
of coffee.
a cup of coffee, maybe sip on a wine or something. I don't know. Um, and as you know, I live in the mountains, so it's apropos. It is. It did take me a year, and I think there were a couple things that led to it taking so long. First, I knew what I wanted to say. That part of it wasn't the question for me. It was that last vestige of, was I good enough? Right? Was I good enough that my story could impact someone else? And I'm going to get teary about this, because I teach women every day how to step into who they are and to love themselves and to value themselves. And I teach them tools in that every day. And so this journey was like that last piece for me of finally going, oh, right, and embodying that. And I had to let go of some toxic people in my life. And as you know, well, we met this summer in person. It was fabulous. And I just missed you just before Thanksgiving. So close.
It
But
always
anyway,
happens though. This always happens. Like as soon as I leave Sedona the next week, people are headed, and I'm like, wait, what?
I know. I was like, oh well. But so it was seeing you was phenomenal, and being able to say you're my friend was for me such a huge thing, because I've been in such a toxic friendship with somebody that just kind of that I think was the final block for me, that right, that switch that said, oh, okay, I think I can finish this now. And so yeah, it was that final piece, because when you're in that kind of relationship with that toxicness, then you have to let go of it and own your worth and be able to look in the mirror and say, yeah,
I'm walking the talk. I'm walking the
yep,
talk.
yep,
It is, I think, one of the most evolutionary gifts that we receive, being able to really sit back in awareness and walk out our talk. And
yeah,
it does hold us, it activates us all to, like, you know what? I can't listen to this level of language anymore.
right,
I can't put myself, just like you write so well. This book is really good. So if you haven't gotten the ebook, I'm going to get some links in the comments really soon, and you can find it on my page. You can find it on the Publishing on Purpose page. But this is a really well thought out transformational tool. It really is, this book.
yeah,
And there is such an emergence of women, and we've been talking about this for 4 or 5 years, really, but
right,
it hasn't stopped. And this is the thing there, and now there's an acceleration of
right,
embodied leaders to really show up
yeah,
and lead other CEOs, to lead other leaders. It really is in this transformational tool that you have written. Again, it's just realistic stories, real life engagement that we can all see ourselves in.
yeah,
And that's the click, I think. Like you're saying, these are the clicks. Like I'm writing about it. I've just read what I've written. And before I can move even to the next paragraph, I need to check this box.
yeah.
So yeah, it can be that process, and it can take a while, but guess what? You're out on the other side now. Yay!
Yeah, yeah. And the other part, because I work in a male dominated environment, right? What I realized is that there are so many more men in the environment that I work in that realm, that world, my other world that I live in. I think that's where it led to questions of, is this good enough for the women in that environment, right? Is this good enough for the women in that environment? Is this really going to help them? Because this book isn't just for people who want to transform, right? It's really a journey to recognizing the balance between the masculine and feminine, and that's what I had to do, because I was very heavy in the masculine energy, and then I went very heavy into the feminine, and then I figured out how to balance those two. And then I realized I was in the toxic realm of that. And then I figured out how to get out of that into the divine. So it was kind of a journey all the way around through all of those pieces. And I think, you're talking about all these people that are emerging, and that's true. There are so many women leaders emerging, and men, right, that are stepping in fully into that embodied divine leadership. That in the industrial realm that I come from, I am not seeing as fast a takeoff, right? And so I had to own that first and feel good about that first before I was able to say, yeah, I can check all of my boxes. I can check them all. Yeah.
Every last one of them.
One of them.
And then we
Yeah.
just get a brand new sheet of fun and interesting experiences, which is this is what I look forward to as a cheerleader for you, as a book coach, as a publisher, is getting the witness the next level you, the next identity, really seriously, this is where I get my kicks. And I know, but this is my impact in motion, right? This is my legacy in motion, like watching women and men and human beings, souls on this planet arrive, accelerate, come to their wholest heart of authenticity. To become the CEO and founder of their brilliant life. This is what I wait for. And so I get to, like, I'm only getting started now with you. Yeah. It's like today's the day. I get to see a whole new level of somebody becoming something bolder and more beautiful and a visionary, really. So one of my questions I love to ask authors, and I know, it's new. We haven't got a paperback in your hand yet, but paperback's always coming. This is an exciting day. Like, the excitement's only getting started for you. Is what was one of the most, foundational pieces through your book journey, if you can do a quick think back, or one of the funnest parts, or one of the things you love the most about from writing to publishing, or felt most supported by?
I think that's a good question. So one of the most fun pieces, really, so there was a lot of back and forth between you and I. I was writing, I several months, and then I stopped, and then I started back up again, and going back and forth. And here, your questions and your comments and your some of the things that you're like, whoa, what was that kind of thing? That was a lot of fun, being that level of support from you personally. And then also at the same time, my husband, who you met when you were here, he just kept, Renee, when you're ready, right? When you're ready. And I didn't feel pushed. I felt the support, the love and support from both of you and a few other people as well. They know who they are. So that piece of it, then the next thing too was just when I stepped out of my own way, right, and listen. Like I'm the talking in the ear is getting really loud right now. When I stepped out of my own way and listened to the higher guidance that I was given, right, to recognize that I truly am supported there as well. And it was quite the journey in that respect, is recognizing the level of support that I don't have to be my own cheerleader.
Mm-hmm. Or the fastest one off the block.
One off the block.
You're so thorough. This is really thoughtfully written and intentionally
very intentional
put together. Yeah. And so that part,
yeah.
that part.
I'll say that.
I love doing a lot of read through on manuscripts too. This is a love of mine because I get to be that role. I can ask those questions.
Yeah.
Like, and let's throw this in here, right? Like, I get to be a reader, and I think that level of support, I do that for myself a lot too, like be the witness. Do I have multiple personalities? Perhaps.
I think we all do.
Do I have multiple voices?
If we're honest.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if we're being honest, there's a lot of guidance in my life, but yes, asking those questions and just making it so the reader can go in. That and be in your scenario is one of the funnest ways I love to look at manuscripts, is to how can I see myself in them. But okay, so that was good. Thanks for answering. Thanks for sharing always. And my last question for you is, what is one of the most exciting ideas that you have of how you're going to use this tool that you're going to have in your hands soon? I promise. I mean, we're ready to go. We just are going through the process.
Yeah.
We're going through amazing
Yeah,
process.
you'll be hearing when I get it. I'll be,
I
jumping
know
up and
you'll
down
see
and
it in her hands everywhere,
yeah.
as you should. I'm talking about it. If you have a book, everyone, I want you to take a picture of you holding your book right now and drop it in my comments. I want to
Yeah,
see you
exactly.
holding that baby. But how are you most excited to use it, Renee? This tool that you have created for a
Mm.
deeper level of leadership.
Well, so, first of all, I want to make it available to people that work with me, right? As something that is a gift for them when they're working with me, and really kind of help them walk through some of the processes, because there's the processes that are in the book are just a few of them, right? It's like a starting point. But I think the most fun way is I'm planning to do some retreats this next year.
Nice.
And I'm very, very excited. We're going to have a couple here in Italy. And yes, so the intention is to have the book in hand, because the retreats will be about healing the trauma that keeps us from being the CEO in our own lives, right? And whether you're ever in a leadership role, or you're in an entrepreneurial position, or whatever position, being the CEO of our own lives is really what it's all about, and having that ownership of what's happening in our lives, right? And we have to deal with the trauma that keeps us from being that person and showing up as our best version. So yes, that is something I definitely intend to do and use it as a tool.
Okay, well, you keep us posted on those retreat dates, because that sparked my interest. But you're absolutely right. Being able to release that trauma and really lead is the next level of leadership, becoming the CEO of your life. It shifts what you're offering from a business to an impact, to a legacy, to a life's work. And that is what it becomes. And then you get to do all the fun things. And secondarily to that, I love that you mentioned that on retreat. So for those of you that are retreat leaders, yeah, imagine that. Imagine already having your own manual always. You always have a gift already, a thing to work with, a tool of transformation that is tried and true. And if you haven't started retreats and you have a book, well, Renee just opened the door for all of us, right? And your book is set up. This is one thing I love about your book, and then we'll close, right? Is that you just take direct action. You've got a great journal page on there after direct action, and move the stuff.
Yeah.
So for the getting off the block faster, the tool of that book is going to show women how to get off that block faster. And you've done it in such a balanced way, right? Because you brought the energies of being a balanced human being with these energies that we all have.
Yeah.
Masculine and feminine. Like, you have wrapped this bundle up beautifully. So thank you. Thanks for being willing and committed and courageous enough, Renee, to put yourself out here with a book.
Thank you. And thank you, Mary, for your constant support and love and friendship. So
we're lucky.
I'm very excited.
We are some of the lucky ones. Just in case those of you out there are feeling like lonely solopreneurs, we are some of the lucky ones. I agree with you that everything begins with relationships. And then we lift each other as we climb. It really is the preface to what I'm starting here in person New Orleans. Oh, that was the one thing I did want to say too. I'm starting some New Orleans in-person events next year, and I'm always going to be looking for speakers, Renee. So when you're over here doing some of the things, we need to make sure it matches and get you right down here into the Big Easy.
Oh, I love it down there too. I love New Orleans.
Your message is something I would be delighted to put on stages in front of other women business owners. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks.
Any final closing words for the audience besides go buy the ebook? You're missing out if you haven't yet.
Yeah. Final, you know what? It's really about, the book really is about finding yourself and your highest version of yourself. And like you said, there are tools in there to help you get there, to help you with ease and joy, right? So I'm very honored to have been able to do this and be able to get this in the hands of people. So thank you.
Hip,
Thank
hip,
you, Mary, for
hooray.
having me.
Yes. Hip, hip, hooray. All right,
Yay.
everyone. Here's your call to action. I've already put the Amazon link below in the comments. Your support means the world to me, and I know it means the world to Renee. It really means the world to authors all over the world and the next level of women who are stepping up into the same thing of writing a book and putting their life, their transformation out for the globe to see. So go get the book. Be a good end of support. Reach out to Renee if this resonates. It's easy to get in contact with her. You can just look her up on Facebook, really, but direct message me if you want a personal invitation, a personal connection. I'm happy to do that. That's your call to action, though. Go get the ebook. Let's celebrate Renee on this special day, as she has just gotten the medal into the top 2% of the population. Yes. I
Yay.
share this in my 2-day event. So if you've been wondering, how the heck do I even start writing and even think about publishing my book? I have an event at the end of January. I'll put the link to that also in the comments. Join the 2-day event and I'll tell you how. Renee, thanks for your time
Thank you,
today.
Mary.
Thanks for your love. Thanks for showing up in a leadership role, a leadership role, so other women have an opportunity to say yes to their CEO life. Bye for now, everyone.
Yeah.